So we were going to meet up at the arena. So I got all his stuff ready and mine, and then I carried his stuff in. So there's like no indication anything was going to happen. I felt great. And then about an hour later, I was emergency number 1.
I remember it was the first hockey game of the season. I looked over and there's a bunch of commotion, and I saw, which I now know is Lyndon coming, skidding towards the bench, and he was just kind of hunched over.
I thought he was playing a joke and he was going to crawl to the bench, but he didn't. So then I opened the box and rolled him over, and he was foaming at the mouth.
I got there and somebody said he was having some pain in his chest, and it wasn't shortly thereafter that he went down. He was trying to get onto the bench and he couldn't.
We started CPR on him right away, and we had a nurse on our hockey team that started directing everybody, grabbed the AED machines, and he was telling everybody to call 911.
Call came in and the caller reported that there was a man in cardiac arrest. There happened to be a nurse on scene, so I was reiterating the instructions just in case. Sometimes in a situation you might not remember everything in training, so I just went over the AED instructions and then the CPR instructions, and she was just reiterating to the person on scene the appropriate instructions.
While I was on the ice, it was kind of just more praying than anything, not so much like thinking more thinking, just kind of just praying it'll be okay.
It was heartbreaking listening to his son calling out his dad's name. I didn't know what the outcome was going to be.
I did compressions for a bit. As soon as and then they came back with an AED, and it said shock advised, and I'm like, early electricity, I don't know, battery fault or not, I don't know, just do it. So we did, and it worked. He delivered certainly received a shock.
So I think I was probably 2 minutes where I wasn't breathing or pulse. And then I was revived, and then I'm lying on the ice, and I hear the defibrillator saying shock him, and then I started to get up, and Tony started swearing at me not to get up. And I figured something's really bad. So then I asked for my glasses, and that's when Bennett skated over, gave me my glasses. And I temporarily put my hand over my eyes, just like, oh man, this is bad. And then when I took my hand off, I looked, it was like just an bluish green and an ugly blue-green, like just totally pale and
yeah, it didn't look too good.
Not good.
Very like gray color.
When I arrived on scene, the gentleman was already sitting up against the boards, awake, talking, friends surrounding him.
The fact that his teammates knew what they were doing, I believe one of them was a nurse, and then they were very, very fast at acting. Grabbing the AED, they defibrillated him right away, and they started CPR. So without a doubt, that probably saved the man's life.
And now he's sitting there talking with us, and so it's probably the first time I've ever seen that, and so it was kind of a surreal feeling, just like the system actually works when you read about it all the time when you're doing your training of how you get the AED and you call 911 and then EMS shows up, and just to see everything in motion work together and for a good outcome. It was a really fun call to be a part of and interesting to be a part of as well.
We did have the patient's son show up to the hospital afterwards, and reuniting him with his father, who was conscious, awake, and able to talk to him was very cool.
I would visit him in the hospital for sure, but like the days that I wouldn't, I would always go back to the rink and just kind of take it all in, kind of bring myself to a better perspective of it all.
There's 600,000 words in the English dictionary, but none can say thank you to that magnitude. So you can't really say more than thank you, but it's not enough.
It's a big thank you to them all for sure. Very thankful for them all.